All right, so we are trying to find the volume of a cylinder. And so in this case, they say a cylinder has a radius of 5.25 meters and a height of 17 meters. They want us to find the approximate volume of the cylinder in cubic feet, and we're going to express our answer in terms of pi. They give us a hint. They say 3/10 of a meter is approximately 1 foot. Now, let me tell you, one of the things that I think messes us up in math is that we don't pay attention to directions. I will say that I myself did the same thing. I just went right ahead and start trying to find the volume. And when I looked at the answer, I'm like, well, why is it not matching what I have? I knew that my information was correct as far as the process, but what I did not pay attention to, and they said it right here, that they wanted it in cubic feet, and they even gave us the hint here. So in this case, what we're going to do first is convert it from meters into feet, and then we will find the cubic feet. So we're going to use the same process. It's just going to be a different unit. So the first thing, and we've seen this before when we talked about proportion relationships. So let's go on and figure that out. So we've got our two fraction bars. We're comparing meters and feet. So we're going to say meters and feet. And so when we talk about meters, what do we know about both meters and feet? Well, they give us the hint here. They say 3/10 of a meter, so zero point 0.3, is equal to 1 foot. Okay. And what do we have here? Well, in this example part of the 5.25, we're going to put that for our meters, and we're going to convert that into feet. So using whatever method you like, if you want to use the fish method, remember you're going to start with the piece of information that you know, cross multiply, divide, and give us the answer. So remember, those steps should be as easy as 1, 2, and 3. So first thing we'll do is multiply. Second thing we'll do is divide. And our third step is give me the answer. All right, so we're going to multiply 5.25 by 1. That gives me 5.25. I'm going to take this number and plug it in here. So 5.25 divided by zero point 0.3, and that will give me, so 5.25 divided by zero point 0.3 gives me 17.5. So 17.5, and I'm going to plug in that 17.5. And the reason I plug it in down here is because I just want to make sure that I remember what unit this is. So 17.5 feet. Okay, so we have that. That is going to be our radius. So our radius is equal to 17.5 feet. Okay, now we need to do the same thing for our height. So we're going to do the same thing, set up our fraction bars. Again, we're comparing meters and feet. And we have, we know that 3/10, 0.3 for meters is 1 foot. And then over here, we're going to say 17 meters. And we've got to figure out what the value, what the answer is for X. So in this time, I'm going to use the swing method. So in the swing method, I'm going to go from what I know from one side to the other, and I'm going to use division. So 17 divided by zero point 0.3 gives me 56.6, and this is a repeating number. Remember, if you drop the numbers, you have to round it. So I'm going to just I'll go two numbers after the decimal. So 56.6, and this is going to turn into a 7 because your right-hand man is 5 or greater. So 56.67. And then remember, what you do at the top, you do at the bottom if you are going in the same direction. But I'm going to go in the opposite direction because I'm going from what I know to what I don't know. So the only thing that changes is your multiplication sign. So I'm going to multiply now by 56.67. Okay. So what that tells me is that my, what was that, height? So my height is going to be equal to 56.67 um 56.67 feet. Okay, so there's our height. 56.67 feet. All right, so now what we're going to do is find the volume of our cylinder. We have all the information that we need. I'm going to take this off of here because we have our radius and we have our height. So now we're going to use what we know in terms of volume, which is going to be equal to base, which is your length times your width, times the height. And in this case, our base is just your area of the circle. So that is pi times your radius squared. And then we're going to multiply that by the height. They want it in terms of pi, so we're going to leave pi. So then our volume is equal to pi times our radius. Our radius is 17.5 square. And then our height is 56.67. And so our volume then is going to be, let's see, 17.5 squared. So that's pi times 306.25 times 56.67. And we end up with our volume being 306.25 times 56.67. So that gives me 17,355. And did they say that they want us to round to anything in particular? No, they didn't. So I'll just round to the nearest tenth. So that would be 55.2. And the reason for that is if you look at your right-hand man, it's 5 or greater. So that 1 will round up to a 2. And so our unit, we've got to make sure that we include that. We've converted it into feet. So this is going to be cubic feet.